What it do, YouTube? What's happening? It's your boy. Round of applause. I'm back. It's your boy J-Indy Jones, Mr. J-Indy Intellect, coming to y'all with an exclusive, important for 2020 and after video. I'm starting this video off with some spring water. Reckless with some baking soda. Get that in there. Ooh, wait, look at it. You see it dropping? Then, some trace minerals. I'm gonna drop some of them in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today the 6th, so I dropped 6 drops. I do shit like that. I do stuff like that, my bad. Like if I go get gas, I like look at the pump number. If it's pump 7, and I be like, well, put 7 on 7. I be doing stuff like that. Or I just do some odd stuff like, let me get 642 on pump 9. You know what I mean? Something like that. But just y'all can see a little bit what's in that. Ooh, I suck at this, my bad. I don't know if it's focusing in. I'll just read it. Magnesium 250 milligrams, chloride 650 milligrams, sodium 5 milligrams, potassium 3 milligrams, sulfate 40 milligrams, lithium 1.5 milligrams, boron 1 milligram. So that's my little water real quick, a little quick concoction. J-Indy, why you putting all that in your water, boy? Why you putting baking soda in your water, boy? Baking soda having water head ass, boy. You know what I'm saying? What you doing that for? Why you putting trace minerals in that? If I'm not mistaken, I got the price tag on there. I took it off. But then why you putting that on there? Why you got some zinc pills? What's the 15 plus? I can't even tell you because I ain't even. I see zinc. I just like, alright, I'm gonna get zinc and pop. I pop. You say, hold on. I'm gonna get to the video, y'all. Just chill out. It says 15 milligrams zinc. How much does it say to take? Use only as directed. Take 1 tablet daily with a meal or glass of water. I'm taking 2, man. Watch. This is why it tastes good. It tastes alright to me because I'm used to drinking it. To you, it might be nasty. Spring water. I mean, Ice Mountain spring water. I mean, it ain't the highest on the pH scale as far as the alkaline. But it is damn sure alkaline. It's not acidic. It's not acidic water. It's not neutral water. It's alkaline water. So, I mean, whatever portion. Let's just drink an abundance of it and you should be cool. Alright. Coronavirus. Corona. It's a virus, right? Yeah. Is it COVID-19 or CO? I think it's COVID-19, not C0VID-19, not CO. I believe it's C0VID-19. I mean, if I said it wrong, so what? You know, we know what I'm talking about. We know what it is. You put in a 0 or an O, it's gonna correct you when you try to Google search it. Man, I'm too happy with this music. Hold on. Turn that down a little bit because we got to get serious. So, all right. Oh, I was gonna hit y'all with like, you know how I did like the definitions to 5G and the definitions you should know for 5G or whatever. I was just going to make this just like the definitions you need to know for coronavirus, but I'm going to mix in like what I could have as maybe 3, 4, 2 separate videos, and I'm just going to put it all just kind of in this bunch as for part 1. But I might not label it part 1, but you see where I'm going with that. So, I've been listening to KT Thearchdegree. Brother is very knowledgeable when it comes down to health. Very knowledgeable when it comes down to health for the melanated ones. I mean, being hands-on teaching for Dr. Sebi, which was his son. Which was his father-in-law. Sebi was his father-in-law. His brothers is Red Pill, Blue Pill. I mean, KT Thearchdegree, man. Look him up, KT Thearchdegree. Man, it's cold, though, when it come down to as far as the health. Like, he knows the health, you know. And I'm not just saying, oh, this fool know what to drink or know what to eat or whatever because he sell his own product or whatever. But no, he knows, like, what's going on, like the molecules, the components of them, what they're doing, their nature, and the names of them, and you know what I'm saying, its purpose and how to keep it cool. And so we're talking like you get the micro and the macro. So he's definitely hitting you with that micro level of things. So I got a few like definitions going on here, a few everything. But my conclusion was right. I'm just going to tell y'all this now. 5G has all the play in the world for this coronavirus. 5G, I repeat, 5G is a big A factor. A big factor. 5G is a huge factor in this coronavirus. Now, coronavirus isn't the strongest virus that's out there. It is not. Coronavirus is not the strongest virus out there, people. I'm going to get on the whole, can black people get coronavirus? I'm going to hit on that because it's been a big talk. And coming from KT, it put a lot of perspective in. So, not to bash anybody that's out there talking about this topic now, because supposedly it's the pro-black community that's on some, well, we black and melanated, we can't get that virus. And then, you know, that's just coming out their mouth. Then you got the other community like, no, everybody can get it. You know, you're not immune just because you're black. So, it's a truth to both sides. So, I'm going to hit on that. So, let's start off with a definition here. Spike glycoprotein. Now, I should have had a visual of what the virus looked like, but if you look at the visual of the coronavirus, you got a ball, and it looked like it basically got these little things poking out of it, like a sun. Just think of the sun and how we make the sun rays. Well, it's like little yellow rays or spikes that's poking out of this ball, right? So I could just draw a quick picture, really quick, jot it down. I ain't gonna make all real quick. Where is that? Alright. I know that's really ugly. Picture these going all the way around, right? And then most of them, disregard that, but most of them is looking like this, how it got the point and go, or, you know, it might be circular or it might not be triangular, but you see where it's like a flower, you know, little flowers or rays that's poking out of this ball. So that is what the coronavirus looked like, what they show us. And then you listen to the name, spike. So evidently these are the spikes, right? Those little rays are the spikes. Glycoprotein, if you don't know what glyco is, sugar. Glyco, like glucose, like sortose and sucrose and fructose. And, you know what I'm saying? That's sugar. And then protein. So we talking about a sugar protein ball that got spikes. That's what your coronavirus is. And the definition, or basically what a spike glycoprotein is, or what it does, it's the binding of the virus to susceptible host cells and for inducing the uptake of the virus by cell, right? So this is what the spike glycoprotein is basically doing. It's the binding of the virus to susceptible host cells and for inducing the uptake of the virus by cells. So it induces cells. The spike glycoprotein go to a cell and it try to poke through the cell and induce it with this virus. And you know, viruses is like code. So basically, the spike glycoprotein is trying to penetrate our cells, skin, so it can get inside of it, so it can basically reprogram our cells with its own DNA or with its own self of its virus. That's what's going on with the virus. That's what it's doing to the body. So, where we need to go from here, let's give another definition real quick. Furin. F-U-R-I-N, furin. Furin is proprotein convertases that process latent/dormant precursor proteins into their biologically active products. So proprotein that converts, so basically, brings together. So it's a proprotein that is basically converting process to the dormant, the dormant precursor proteins. So the dormant precursor proteins is being converted into their biologically active products. Now, that might be confusing as hell because what is a proprotein? Alright, well, proproteins, they're inactive protein or peptide that can be turned into an active form by post-transitional modification, such as breaking off a piece of the molecule or adding on another molecule. So proprotein, an inactive protein. But this inactive protein can be turned into an active form by using the post-transitional modification. And the post-transitional modification is doing things such as breaking off a piece of the molecule or adding on another molecule. Sugar is another definition that I had with this coronavirus. And of course, I got a whole video. If you are new to this, just checking out this video now, go down through my videos, and I got sugar part 1. Never made sugar part 2. You might as well say this is adding on to it. But sugar is the generic name for sweet tasting, soluble carbohydrates, many of which are used in food. Simple sugars are called monosaccharides, and it include glucose, also known as dextrose, fructose, and galactose. And then you also have, besides the monosaccharides, you got the disaccharides too, which are the compound sugars that are formed by the combo of two monosaccharide molecules with the exclusion of the molecule of water. And what does sugar do to the body? Its abundance of added sugar may cause your liver to become resistant to insulin, an important hormone that helps turn sugar in your bloodstream into energy. And this means your body isn't able to control your blood sugar levels as well, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. That's just a small definition. And then another thing about sugar is just multiple sugars. You got the monosaccharides, which is fructose, galactose, and glucose. Then the disaccharides, which is lactose, maltose, and sucrose. Basically, your 3 good sugars and your 3 bad sugars. So, by knowing that this virus is a spike sugar protein ball, that's what your virus is. So, sugar and protein, this is what the virus is. We know that now. I did tell y'all 5G is a big part of this situation going on on here. So what I just broke down to you were like some of the actual health things that's in the inside that's going on with this virus in a way. So I'm gonna get to the how 5G frequencies, I'm not gonna even break down frequencies and all that, but 5G and its powerful frequencies and how bad these frequencies are basically, or what they're doing to help this coronavirus make its marks. And of course, I mean, it has all to do with the power in the world shifting, all to do with Agenda 21, all to do with Agenda 2030, all to do with Agenda 2050, the transhumanism era of life. It has all to do with that. It has all to do with our upcoming election. It has all to do with what's coming at the end of this year. It has all to do with just politics, the economy in general. I mean, if it's a zombie apocalypse, it's all to do with that. If it's a vampire apocalypse, it's all to do with that. If it's a werewolf apocalypse, it's all to do with that. If it's just a war, it's all to do with that. This virus role is basically the weapon they're using. It's the first weapon that's created through the 5G technology. But it's not just like a gun, how they use this weapon. It has its own different processes. So let's get into the MBL. The MBL is the mannose binding lectin. Mannose, MANNOSE, binding BINDING, lectin, LECTIN. Dang. I never wrote the definition down for the mannose binding lectin. That is on me. That is funny. I did not write the definition down on the mannose binding lectin. But the mannose binding lectin is what we have inside of us that takes the virus. It snatched the virus and it tells us that it's a virus. And then we snatch the bacteria and it tells us it's a bacteria. We snatch the vitamin and it tells us it's a vitamin. That's what our mannose binding lectin does, the MBL. And I'm just going to have to go the route that KT went when he was breaking this down. And he had a lot of visuals, so it was way easier than how you just taking it from me just talking. But just you remember the black chomper thing that was on the chain on Super Mario Brothers? So it's a black chomper, you know, it barks too, you know what I'm saying, and he chomp. And he just, you know, he can only go as far as the chain let him go. And Mario always had to sneak by him when he sleep. Mario had to tiptoe by him. And Mario had to run by him because he could chomp and bite Mario. But he make Mario bounce in the air. Like, he could get Mario. The chomper, you know what I'm saying? So that chomper is your mannose binding lectin. That is inside our body. And what it's doing, it is continues to just biting out. It's not purposely just trying to eat the virus that's floating around. It's automatically chomping out. And whatever comes in his mouth, it eats. So that's what's going on with the mannose binding lectins inside of our body. These mannose binding lectins inside of our body is basically the first line of defense for our immune system, because this is what lets us know if it's good or if it's not. So it's teaching our bodies to know when to come into play. Like, it's teaching our bodies. Wait, hold on, y'all. Let me take this call real quick. Hello? What to do? I'm doing this live right now. So, I'm just, shoot, what time is it? I'm gonna just call you as soon as I finish this live. I'm gonna call you. Alright, for sure. Alright. Where was I going? Alright, mannose binding lectin. The chomper inside of us, Mario. So the mannose binding lectin just biting out. And then whatever it eats, it tastes, and it recognizes, and it let us know that the first line of defense for our immune system, because now our body knows how to react to this. Our body knows what to do. It's like when we send the scouts out, because it's a war about to start, and we send our scouts out, so now they know how far and how long it's going to take for that army to get here to our camp, so we can know when to send out infantry. So that's our mannose binding lectin purpose. And I meant to break down protein again. I kind of got to break down protein again, because like the mannose binding lectin is also like a protein creator. Because like we need mannose binding lectin. It's not just one. We need a bunch of them in abundance. Because I mean, you got all these particles and molecules floating through your body, so you need to be recognizing what they are. And you got these spike glycoproteins floating around up in you. You know, these mugs got that spike, and that mug penetrating through cells. So then you don't want to not be able to recognize that. We recognize it right now. Our bodies is recognizing that. But if that MBL ain't properly operating, then we have a problem. And this is the whole big picture, what I'm trying to get to y'all. The MBL are going down in people. Why am I saying our MBLs are going down? Because that's the whole purpose of the 5G. It ain't the purpose of the 5G, but this is the after effect of the 5G. So what 5G is doing is what's called a mutation. Mutation, what are the mutations doing? The mutation is oxidating or oxidation by 5G. That's what mutations are. Oxidation by 5G when it comes down to the MBL. And what it's doing, it is poisoning, basically toxifying our mannose binding lectins. They're getting poisoned. Not only are they getting poisoned, but they're rusting. Because just think, Mario the Chomper, right? The Chomper had a chain. That chain is rusting. And when that chain rusts, you start to become non-movable. You're not mobile anymore. So now you're just sitting ducks, basically. And then you're going to stop chumping, because you ain't going to have the need to chump no more. You poison, right? You poison, so you either eating bull crap, not the stuff you're supposed to eat no more, because you don't care, because you're poison, or you even can't even eat no more. Oh, I'm so sick, I can't even eat no more. Now I can't move because I'm stuck. They're dying off. Without active working mannose binding lectins, we cannot be able to process what a spike glycoprotein is inside of our body, which is giving these spike glycoproteins more advantage on the battlefield. So now they can, if one of them ain't penetrating our cell, because that cell right there is pretty strong and healthy. Now it's two spike glycoproteins coming in trying to penetrate that one cell. And we don't have no recollection of it, because our mannose binding lectins are not as potent as they used to be, or we don't have enough. You know what I'm saying? Or they all dead. So that's what's going on the battlefield with the 5G technology. So this 5G technology been out there in China big time, way more than how it was around the rest of the world. China, you have millions and millions of up to billion people in this continent with this couple of, I guess, countries or whatever they're called over there. But the thing is this, it's so many people, all by each other. Like, how could you not spread something that's airborne when everybody right next to you is coughing? Look at China's sky. This is another reason. China's sky is polluted. It's pollution all in their sky, meaning they're blocking out their sun. So they're not getting the natural sunlight anymore. So with this natural sunlight that everybody needs, that's fighting and curing the whole world, this natural sunlight, we're not having it no more. That's why they sitting out here with these, what they quote unquote contrails, what we call chemtrails or aerosol sprays, or weather modification, what I call it, or pulse, using magnetic pulse waves, frequencies and low frequencies. But what they got going on is they blocking out our sun, which they told us with the whole global warming first, and now they changed it to climate change. But when it was global warming, they already made up the decision that with the global warming, what we have to do is send sprays up into the sky so we can start blocking out the sunlight so we can stop it from puncturing our ozone layer. And that's what they were saying, what they were trying to do. And that's not the truth, but I mean, that's what they're doing though. You know, they doing what they said they was going to do, but that ain't the real intent of what they had going on. And what they're doing is blocking out our sun. Like, if you look at your sun, if you watching this video and the sun is out, go look outside and tell me how many planes you see right now that's leaving that long white line behind it. One thing to let you know, smoke evaporates, right? Smoke evaporates. When you see something that's in the sky that's like smoke, and it ain't going up, because all smoke travel up. It's supposed to travel up, we shouldn't be able to see it no more. If you can still see it like that, that means that it's actually falling or it's floating. So that ain't smoke. That's not smoke. It's not water either. Because water would have, you know what I'm saying? So that's actual chemicals. I mean, it's a few different things that you can test the air to see what it is. I'm not going to get that deep right now. I'll leave that for a different video. But that's what they got going on. They blocking the sky. So then in China, like, you know, we can see the sun. Damn sure we can see the sun. We be outside 3, 5, 10 days straight sunlight. You know what I mean? Nothing in the sky. That's almost a lie, because you always gonna see a damn plane with some chemtrails. But what I'm trying to get to is China sky. They have a lack of sun, like big lack of sun. They don't got a lot of sun like that. They lacking the sun, bro. They lacking it. So by them lacking the sunlight, the conditions over there as far as the temperature wise, right? Then you got all of these people, and just think of if they do have homeless, how many homeless people that they have. That's, you know, think of the pollution that's over there. So, I mean, and then they be having active volcanoes throwing ash in the sky. Just think of what they really got going on in their climate over there. It's like a perfect storm. So you gotta, I mean, come on, man. We know the virus is man-made. That's just hands down. Coronavirus uses H2 as a weapon to sneak into cells. That's also something that the virus does. It uses H2 in order to sneak into the cell. So the cell's thinking, oh, H2, I need a little bit of this. Boop, catch you. You know what I'm saying? It's food. You know what I'm saying? It basically finesse out. The spike glycoprotein is finessing our cells in order to get into boop, give us that virus and to recode us. That's what it's meant to do. And like I said, 5G will decrease our MBL, and that's our monospinal lectin. I'm sorry, I know I was going somewhere, then I just kind of took it this way because it's like the video getting long. All right. Yesterday, on Friday, on March 5th, 2020, Trump signs a $8.3 billion emergency spending package to combat the virus. He's trying to combat the coronavirus using $8.3 billion in emergency funds. $8.3 billion. That's a lot of money to be putting in to something that's so deadly and spreading so fast, right? So deadly and spreading so fast. But we don't got no cure for AIDS, right? Which is like the worst out of everything. Like, AIDS is like worse than cancer, ain't it? I thought it was. I mean, if it's not, correct me. Is cancer worse than AIDS, or is AIDS worse than cancer? They don't sure know that they, quote unquote, always looking for cures for these things, right? And this dude's spending $8.3 billion just to fight something, right? It's just to fight a virus, right? That they figuring out. I think I got this figured out already. Let me show you what's going on in the media. How you can see how they're using it to get over, to make their money. Because you already know the stocks that went down. So it said Apple rejects coronavirus apps that aren't from health organizations. And it goes on to say Apple is preventing developers from uploading apps related to the coronavirus outbreak that are not from governments or health professionals. Then you got the independent developers saying Apple's strict rules could reduce availability of software that would help people track the outbreak. So you already got the basically independent media, like as in me, giving y'all some of this small information right now. But if I wanted to create a better way for me to show y'all this, maybe made a web page or made an app and had the app directed with all of the answers for your questions. They would not let me have that app. Apple wouldn't let me have that just because I'm not government or health professional. But everything I'm saying is legitimately correct because it's completely natural and it works, right? So you got that going on. So back with the monobinding lectins, it's the part of the monobinding lectin, the top of it, is called the carbohydrate recognition domain, the CRD, and it's responsible for, well, what'd I say? I don't even know my own writing. It's responsible for something. Binding and selectivity. So the carbohydrate recognition domain is the part of the chumper head. Remember the chumper? And then they got the neck of the chumper, which is the neck domain. And then they got the chain. It's a spiral chain. And that's basically how the monobinding lectin look. It had a little top part, it got the little neck part around it, then it got the spiral. And the spiral been a chain, and then it have the base part. And that'd be like the tree stump or whatever that chain was connected to for the chumper. And that'd be the end of the monobinding lectin. It's like 4 parts to the monobinding lectins. You know what I'm saying? But its purpose is like the chumper, like I said. So the carbohydrate recognition domain, the CRD, would be the binding part of the chumper. And that's responsible for, binding and selecting. Had to get that out there. Fun definition. I mean, not a fun definition, but a fun thing to know is if it ends in OSE, it's a sugar. Glucose, fructose, sortose. You know what I'm saying? Sucrose. It's OSE at the end, so you know that that's a sugar. And I think the same things apply to like sodiums and so on. So, 2 more things I want to hit on. It might be like a 40-50 minute video. One thing is I want to break down like the process of a protein, what a protein is kind of for you. And this was also from KT, Thearchdegree. But what I did was took what he said and just reworded it my way. Alright, so a protein consists of DNA, which represents the hard drive. So what we're going to do is going to take proteins and the molecular system of our, the molecules that's what's inside of our body, the microsystem, and we're going to take it and we're going to compare it to like its technology, which we are, which is going to be a definite big video that I'm going to do because I'm going to propose hypotheses. And I got a hypothetical thought of how humans were created. But I'm going to compare it to like the whole computer process. Like, alright, so a protein consists of DNA, which represents the hard drive, right? So protein is DNA. Right? So, protein consists of DNA. It's DNA. Like DNA, in order to have protein, it comes from DNA. Right? So the DNA represents the hard drive. So the hard drive on your computer is the DNA, right? Your DNA is a hard drive. So genes, we all know genes. Like you got good genes. You got good hair. You got good genes with your daddy genes. You look like your daddy. So gene. A gene, which is the section in our hard drive, which is DNA, right? So our DNA is the hard drive. Our gene, which is a section in our hard drive that is known as the file, or it represents a file. So the gene is a file, and your DNA is a hard drive, okay? So, the messenger RNA is the flash drive, for which you transcript a final copy of your file/gene to. Let me re-say that. So the messenger RNA, right? The messenger RNA is the flash drive. So your DNA is the hard drive. Your gene is the file. The messenger RNA is the flash drive. So the purpose of the messenger RNA is to take a copy. So your DNA is the hard drive. So what this messenger RNA is going to take a copy of your gene. So the copy of your gene is a file. So it's going to take a file and it's going to copy that file completely. And when it completely copies that file, that flash drive gets sent to the ribosomes, which pulls the instructions off of the flash drive and process the material components listed from the instructions to build a structure, what we call proteins. What? Okay, so your DNA is your hard drive. Your gene is the file. The messenger RNA is your flash drive, right? So what we're doing is what the process is first is the hard drive. Then you click in, and then now you get to the file, which is your gene. You take that file, and then you copy it into this flash drive. So your file copy to the flash drive. It's still stuck right here because you didn't press cut and paste. You press copy. So it's still a version right here, but this version is going to your flash drive. So now that flash drive gets sent to the ribosomes, and that's a part inside of your body. So how we said DNA, how we said gene, how we say messenger RNA. So now we're just speaking on the process that's within inside of your body, because the flash drive, aka the messenger RNA, this is basically all it is. The messenger RNA is sent it to your ribosomes. And when it get there, the ribosomes pulls the instructions off of the flash drive. So it's pulling the instructions from the messenger RNA, and then it's processing the material components listed from the instructions to build a structure. So basically, it's taking the instructions and it's looking at each instruction, and it said, if I do 1, 2, 3, now I'm building up a house. So you basically learn how to build a house because on that flash drive that you copied from yourself, it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps in order to build this house. And then once the house is built, that house is called a protein. So this is, in a nutshell, how the protein come about inside of the human body when you compare it to a computer, in which I believe the human body is basically the ultimate version of the computer. The computer comes from us. So, yep, coronavirus is basically a cold, pneumonia type cold, a sickness that you can just catch, just like a regular cold, because it's a virus, and you can catch it. And a lot of people ain't gonna have it like right now. Some people getting it because they have weak immune systems. That's all it is weak immune systems. So that's easier said than done, just because of the fact of the reason that China is so outbroken is because of the condition that they were in. Their immune systems has been broken down. So basically mutated. So what I'm trying to say is 5G is going to mutate the world. It's going to mutate everybody inside. So our insides is going to change. If you stop something from processing and growing correctly, shit is going to change in the inside, and then your body is going to have to learn how to adjust to that. And then once you start having babies and kids, their body's not even going to be the original way it used to be. It's going to start growing in the way that your body is messed up already because you mutated yourself. And we're mutating ourselves by not taking care of our own bodies. If you take care of your own body, you don't have to worry about a mutation. You don't have to worry about that mutation because you done already fought it. You done already did the things you needed to do to prevent the mutation from happening in the first place. Now, we can't stop the mass mutation that's going on because it's just depopulation. It's a dehumanization. I probably made that word up. But that's what they're doing. They're getting rid of everybody, right? So they're going to try to get rid of all of us. And this is a real easy way to do it by killing off the first line of defense in your immune system. By doing that, you could throw out any just sickness. You could throw out any sickness. Like, it don't have to be big. Like, people thinking like this is a big, no, it ain't like that. It's just that your body ain't able to do what it used to do no more. They mutating people and changing the way our bodies work. So by changing the way your body work, it ain't making the virus worse. It's making you worse. So by you not being up to par, you can't even take care of a normal thing. If your body good, you take care of this normal thing. So then now get into the whole black people, melanated versus the world, pretty much when it comes down to the coronavirus. So yes, anybody can catch a virus. Anybody can get this virus. Just because you're black don't mean that you can't get it. Yeah, you can get it. This is the thing. It's a difference in melanated skin. It's a difference in its darkness or brownness or whatever. Color. It's a difference in the color with the no color. It's a difference. And a few things with these differences you take into play that, for instance, a melanated person needs more sunlight for vitamin D, right? And our bodies can store more vitamin D from sunlight versus someone who is not melanated. They don't need as much vitamin D. They don't need as much sunlight, you know? Salt. As a melanated person, our body intake takes up more salt. So we hold more salt. So we need more salt because we got to fill it up, right? So in order to fill up our salt, this is way off of the comparison, but I'm just showing you. If you're not melanated, you only need this much salt. If you are melanated, you need this much salt, right? So that contributes also with the sunlight and vitamin D and having more vitamin D, less vitamin D. Being in the sun, you need more sunlight because we got to fill this jar up. This is how much sunlight you're going to fill up with no melanin because of the skin and what it needs. There's more layers with the melanin and, you know, so on and so forth. You have to do your study on melanin and what melanin is and all of the different components of it. Because people think everything is the same, which is all the same and different. It's a difference into everything being the same. So just because, I mean, we all gonna bleed the same. We all got all of that, but it's just certain other things that's a little bit different. And KT put this up and he used this as a definition, just like how I did that. What he said though was this. It was like, say charging up a cell phone versus charging up a laptop. Now, we both know the cell phone and laptop, you could do the same thing on both of them. Yet, the laptop, you could do tad bit a little bit more than what you can do on the cell phone. But these cell phones get very, very upgraded. But just still, the laptop is bigger. It could do more. It got the keyboard already attached. It got the phone. You know what I'm saying? The laptop can do a few more things that, you know, sometimes you have to get onto a desktop when you're trying to fill out an application on your phone. You have to hop on a bigger computer. So when it comes down to charging that laptop and coming to charging that cell phone, it takes larger to charge the laptop than to do the cell phone. So somebody that's melanated skin, basically charging up the laptop would be for us as far as without melanin in your body. You know, if it's dormant melanin, you don't really got no melanin, it's going to be like more like charging the cell phone. So the thing about this is, when it come down to fighting like viruses and stuff, just think as with melanin, you're storing, being able to store, have a ability to store certain minerals or super minerals, which would be a vitamin, basically a vital mineral. You will have a better opportunity to be able to fight things off because you have, now don't get me wrong, if you ain't filling it all the way up, then it's still the same. But what I'm just trying to say is, this is not nothing to deal with race or nothing like that. It don't got nothing to do with that. It's just what it is. It's like dealing with that. Like, it is not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just what it is. Because it can have its benefits and it can have its things. It's not benefits. It got its pros and its cons. So I mean, so what? It got its pros and its cons. That's all it is. So it ain't that, but it's just that when it comes down to like an immune system virus, something dealing with like what this coronavirus do, and then as far as what the melanin got going on, we got like more vitamin D in the winter time. stored in our bodies, as far as somebody without melanin don't have as much vitamin D stored within their body. If we got lack of sun and we need vitamin D, so we gotta, store way more vitamin D than they do. But the thing is, by it being lack of sun, they don't need that much sun anyway, because they don't need that much. They can't hold as much vitamin. They need as much vitamin D as probably as we need in order to survive, but as far as much as you can hold. So pretty much what we got going on here is we can hold more vitamin D in the wintertime. So, and it's lack of vitamin D in the wintertime, so you got to get it more. So, for instance, if they got to get it times 2 in the summer, they have to get it times 4 or times 5 in the winter. Versus melanated in the summer, you only have to get it 0.5. But when the winter comes, you got to get it 1. You see what I'm saying? So 1 versus 5 in the winter. You know what I'm saying? That's way bigger than 0.5 to 2 in the summer. Which means they still got to do a little bit more frequently versus, it ain't like they just gonna do more frequently because it's gonna run out a little faster than what it would run out with melanin. So with that being said, and also with this virus, like where people taking it, because it was one black guy from Cambodia who was in China during the outbreak, and he got processed and quarantined for the 14 days just to be able to walk free and be very healthy, and had a Chinese doctor for China pretty much baffled and just amazed on how this brother survived perfectly with nothing. Like, the only person his body was the cure, So, and it's only been a black person you heard that ever happen for. So I understand that's why people saying, oh yeah, black people can't get it. No, you can get it as a virus. Because this is what's going on, and this is the last thing for KT. I know KT, Thearchdegree, bro, you are the ish. I love your work, and you woke me up, because I was dormant. I was a sleeping giant. You woke me up, bro, with some of this knowledge, and with the way my brain tick, I put it together. I keep going, and I just don't get it from you. I get it from me. I get it from you, and I'm just pointing to possibly ancestors or the unknown. But damn, I lost track of thought. Oh shit. Oh shoot, excuse my French. What I was talking about? Oh yeah, black people, coronavirus. Black people, y'all can get it. Black people, you ain't special. Stop thinking you so god dang on special. Oh, I'm black. Ooh, I'm a god. I'm a king. Brother, if you ain't taking care of that melanin, you ain't nothing, bro. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing if you ain't taking care of your melanin. If you're not taking care of your melanin, you're nothing. Imagine, and KT said a Bentley, I'm going to change the car. Imagine having, let's say we got a Bugatti, right? Imagine you got a clean Bugatti, right? Yesterday. But today, that Bugatti ain't had no oil change in a year. That Bugatti mufflers is holes in it. The Bugatti got stains all on the seats. You got mismatched tires and never had a wheel rotation here in the past 8 months. Somebody broke the headlight of the Bugatti. You know what I'm saying? And your license plate is hanging. If you pull up in that Bugatti with all of that going on in that Bugatti, I mean trash, the windshield crack, you know what I mean? All that. Mud running loud, you know what I'm saying? Ain't had no tune-up and wind since when? No, corroded spark plugs, you know what I mean? Bugatti jacked up. That's what you're doing. Y'all all y'all black people, I'm gonna call y'all the color. I don't like calling y'all that. But all y'all melanated, whoever got melanation in them, and I mean, melanin comes in different colors. I mean, that's copper, is red, it can be mahogany, it can down there be turquoise. Like, melanin has colors, bro. So don't get it twisted that like melanin is colors. All I'm doing is saying the ones who don't got melanin. So the ones who don't got the melanin in them is the ones who don't got color. It ain't the person who's a white person. No, it's the person who's lack of melanin. The person who don't have melanin. There's a difference. So with that being said, melanin, lack of melanin, leads to easier access of catching viruses. So the ones who are melanated, if you're taking care of your melanin to a full T, you don't have nothing to worry about. If you're not melanated and you're taking care of yourself times 2, times 3, then what somebody of melanin would have to take care of themselves. Y'all got to do the same shit to take care of yourselves. But of course, all we got to do is this much and we good for 2 months. Y'all have to do it, but then y'all have to follow up and do it again, the ones without melanin, a month later. So basically, you have to go month by month while we can go by every 2 months. You see what I'm saying? We go by monthly, and y'all go month to month. So that's the only difference. We put in the same minutes and all that, we're just able to last longer. So that's it with that. So everybody can get it unless you take care of yourself. Everybody don't have to get it. Just because you're white don't mean you're going to get it. Just because you're Asian don't mean you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? If you're taking care of your body, number one, if you take care of your body, you have nothing to worry about. This 5G technology is going to be here. So you got to learn how to combat that in order to take care of that, because these frequencies are going to be trying to get you. That's just a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother way. And if they get through you, if they break through you, you're going to break down. Your body going to start mutating. Once you start mutating, then you're going to have to adjust to the living of, you know what I'm saying? It's different, bro. You don't want that. Y'all don't want that, man. Take care of yourselves, bro. Take care of yourselves. If you melanated, take care of that melanin, and then you can call yourself a god or a king. I'm telling you that, and that's big old facts. That's the truth right there. But if you ain't taking care of yourself, if you ain't taking care of your melanin, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You don't mean nothing. You're nothing. Yet, you just wasting something perfect. You wasting something good. That's all it is. It's just wasting something good. Just because you got it don't mean, bro, if you ain't doing it right, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? You got $1 million, right? What you spend your money on? Where your money at now? Do you still got $1 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Did you do the right things with that, or did you not? And that's what we got going on with our bodies, man. I mean, we just really finding out a whole bunch like now, because it's just been going on, and it was a less amount of people who was trying to tell everybody what was going on, and then more people that was telling us that wasn't going on. But now it's at the threshold that the tables is turned, and there's more people like-minded like me than the opposition. So, peace, love, and abundance, world. This is J-Indy Intellect about the coronavirus, part 1.